So I'm gonna do 5 minutes. Go live. Hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome here today with us for the Poetic Release Voices Out Loud collab. I'm going to go ahead and share our screen with all our lovely participants today. We're here to talk about bibliotherapy through poetry. Go ahead and add everybody to the stage. That's from the side. And I did know I saw Godly Poems on here with us. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, I know. Tune in all the way in from Nigeria with us. Is that correct? Loving it. Yeah, awesome. I'm going to add you to the stage. So you're going to be there with us as well. Good day, everybody. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get rolling and started because we are going to be on here together from 12 to 1:30 is our official time to do so. So we're going to do our best to follow the format and to really come together to say, you know what, I just say thank you very much for joining in and tuning in and be a part of this collab because it does mean something. We're talking about National Poetry Month. We're talking about us as poets, us as writers, us as creative people, right? And how poetry is able to inspire us, to touch us in such a way that is deeper than a lot of other creative ways of how we come together to be the people that we are, our identity, you know, our soul, our spirit, all those entities coming together as one to be an expressive force. And with that being said, a lot of times I think the writing avenue is sometimes overlooked. Well, guess what? It's not overlooked anymore. And the reason it's not overlooked anymore is because people like you, fabulous people, come together to make a difference in this arena, giving back to humanity in this type of form. So let me go here. Banners here. So welcome to the collab, the collab again. And this is our poetry collab, and we're talking about bibliotherapy through poetry. Okay. So what is bibliotherapy through poetry? See, bibliotherapy is and this is ericed.gov. It says in the field of education, which I'm in the field of education, that is my mountain. Bibliotherapy is the practice of helping individuals grow and develop through books. Okay. So it's an approach that harnesses the power of literature to enhance well-being and personal growth. So it's basically used for information, get information to give you support and also guidance. And it's a form of creative arts therapy using different formatted written materials to improve your lives. Written material to improve your lives. Did you ever think of poetry being a creative art? Most people do, but what about a form of therapy? That's the real thing there. How is it seen as a type of therapy? According to Medical News Today, bibliotherapy through poetry is a therapeutic method that draws upon the healing powers of literature, specifically poems, right? Considering it art therapy, that is a subtype of bibliotherapy. So I would like to welcome to the stage Poet G, Poet David, Godly Poems, Consuelo Mian, and I am Lakeisha Matisse, your Rebound and Reset doula, and I will be facilitating this collaboration today. Okay, so we're going to be jumping right in with our bibliotherapy through poetry discussion. But first, I want to take the time to thank our audience for tuning in today. Wherever you're tuning in from, we appreciate you, and we just say, hey, sharing is caring. So go ahead and share this with other people that you know need to hear this conversation. And not only that, I said the icing on top of this beautifully baked cake will be fabulous poets expressing themselves through written word and their own unique creative, right, and individual poems that they will be reciting for you today. So we have some particular questions that we're going to be asking, and it's fair game that each and every person is able to um, give an answer if you feel comfortable doing so. I have to pause there because a lot of times we kind of say, "Oh, we need to do something," and if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you don't have to. But I'm asking that if you can, and if you're willing, and if you're able, we would appreciate that very kindly. in order for us, if you're on the other places, in order for us to be able to use any of the information that you put in from the different platforms, you would have to give StreamYard the right to be able to reveal your name if you would like to do that. So make sure that wherever you're tuning in from, if they some not all social media platforms have it where you can actually put comments, but if you can if you feel something that resonates with you, go ahead and let these poets know that is resonating with you. It's okay to do that. We want this to be engaging. We want it to be interactive. We want it to flow smoothly. At the same token, I ask you for grace and mercy on this because this is my first official time hosting a group type of event here, sponsored through Lakeisha Matisse Enterprises in collaboration with Oasis of Hope International, right? And this is our first time coming together and doing this. So guess what? I know that I belong to a tribe, and it's called Together, Resiliently, Inspiring, Brilliance, Ever Blooming. So this is my time to ever bloom. This is your time to ever bloom. And we ever bloom together by inspiring each other to go the limit and to go the extra mile because it's possible. And just like we're doing it here, you can turn around and do it too. Because can't anybody do it just like you? So no, without further ado, let's dive into these questions here. So our first question, and this question can be answered by any of our fabulous poets here. And we say poet, but we also have writers here. They don't just have one form of writing style that we actually do, but we are creative individuals and beings. And we just want to put that out there too. But today our topic is poetry. So therefore we are expressing ourselves through poetry. So our first question is, what does writing and or reciting poetry do for you? What does writing or reciting poetry do for you? Who would like to take this one on? And let me try to get make sure I'm on the other custom screen so I can add all of us to this screen here. Give me a moment. Here we are. All right. So we can turn our screens on and we should all be able to populate inside once we do so. I got you, Queen. I saw. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What is Swellback? Has she been in here since the beginning? Okay, I had to add you to the stage. All right. So once again, let's talk about biblio poetry, right? Bibliotherapy through poetry. So the first question, once again, was what does writing and or reciting poetry do for you? Anybody can go there. You know, short, succinct answers are okay. It doesn't have to be long and drawn out. It's all right. Just what does it do for you to write or to recite poems?
I'll answer first. It's a form of therapy, actually. If you ever go and do any type of actual therapy and do any type of work, the first thing they're going to suggest to you is to do journaling, right? And so I do remember years ago where I went to it. I was mourning my mother, and that was a suggestion, and it tapped me back into one of the things that I loved the most, which was poetry. And I started writing and writing and writing, and I would share my poetry with friends of mine, and they're like, "You should write a book." And it took me years to actually publish a book, but I'm happy I did. And the book is about love. It's called 50 Ways to Love. It's about love because we're in a space and time in the world where I feel like we're in a mental health crisis in a way. And it's almost like we've lost our way with love. We've lost our way with falling in love with each other, our friends, our jobs, the world, ourselves mainly. And so I feel like it's definitely can be a form of therapy for you. Everybody has to tap into their self and be able to express yourself, and it comes out as poetry.
Absolutely amazing. All right, thank you for answering the question. Anybody else want to give it a shot there of what does writing or reciting poetry do for you? Go ahead, David.
Writing or reciting poems, it uh, it helps me express my feelings better than I could by talking. Because when you write poetry, you are using your feelings. What is happening is usually what you're writing your poem about.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that. Awesomeness. Anyone else want to give that a shot, or we can move on to question number two? What about you, Poet G? You have anything to say about this?
Yeah, writing saved my life. I've been writing since probably like junior high, high school. I'm 35 now, but just through all the adversity I faced, whether it was grieving, losing my brother, close family members, uh, struggles, financial struggles, trying to build my relationship closer with God, like writing has, allowed me to find myself. And now I'm able to teach other people how to write and express themselves. So yeah, like you said, writing is therapy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And thank you for the amazing answer as well. Poet Godly Poems, would you like to go ahead? Tell me your first name because I didn't want to slaughter it. So I just call you by your poet name. But go ahead. Can you unmute yourself and let me know how do you say your first name?
Ebuka,
Say it one more time.
uh,
Ibuka, right?
Ebuka, yeah,
Yeah.
Ebuka, yes, that's my first name.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know that you have your other name which starts with an N, and I was like, I'm not about to slaughter this name. I'm going to ask you how to say it. It is so original, and Ibuka, we very very much appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, you go.
It is so original, and Ebuka, we very very much appreciate you tuning in.
Thank you so much. Um, can I answer the question?
Yes, yes, sir.
All all right. So writing helped me to really keep details of what I had, and I have something to note down, not just about me, but about other people. And so it really helped me to keep details of what I have to say. Maybe not, probably not at that time, but what I have in my heart. And reciting poetry also helped me to get the context of different story. Sometimes when I read different, or I recite poetry to myself, my mind, the one I've written and written by others, and I get different stories, and it helps me to be calm, and have more like a bridal mindset, just at peace. I'm at peace. That's what
Yeah,
reciting poetry helps me to do.
absolutely. Appreciate your answers there. I know it's a little lag behind, so I just take a little time before I jump in, so I'm not speaking over anybody. And we appreciate you also responding to that question. All right, we got question number two here. Would you encourage others to start or continue writing as a form of self therapy? Does everybody agree that you would encourage other people to start writing poetry or to, you know, um, continue it? Because some people stop. They think, oh, it's not important. I don't have time, And it's like, whoa, 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 this is something very important here. We're talking about bibliotherapy through poetry, how much more of an expressive person that you can become and what you can actually, not just for yourself gain, but what you can actually give to others, right? Writing has been a big central part of my life from growing up. I have to tell you one thing. I used to write like one act plays within 3 to 4 hours. I would sit there and do it. I can do it. My background is in theater arts, directing and performing. So that was a part of how I was able to cope and escape a lot of the hardships that I had to face growing up. And a lot of you have to find your creative style, your creative way. So creative meaning that it's not self-destructive. So we're really here to send a message that this is one form of therapy that you can actually use for yourself. So once again, would I encourage others to start or continue writing? Yes, absolutely. Anybody else want to jump in there?
I would like to add to that because we listen to music, right? And when I did a poetry class to students, I gave them an assignment to either recite one of their favorite songs, write a poem, write haiku, or something like that. And one of the things that we don't realize is, we're lyricists. So we actually, the music we listen to, the lyrics are actually poetry in the music. And if you ever listen to an artist interview, they'll tell you like one of the um most trying times in her life, they made the best music, right? And so, we can actually put our feelings into in our words, and that is another way of, like you said, therapy for us to express ourselves. Like everybody on the panel just, say it, and music is a form of poetry.
Well said. Absolutely. All right. Anybody else would like to respond to that? Well said. Or we can move on to question 3. Most of us would agree that's why we're here. David, go ahead.
I agree too. If you don't encourage people to try it, they'll never know if they like it or not. Which is why you should encourage people to try something.
Very well said. Thank you, David. All right. Okay, let's move to question number 3. What's the most emotional poem that you have ever written? Oh, Lord. What's the most emotional poem? Don't be shy. I know we got to go
Uh,
deep.
yeah, can I answer?
I have
Can
an
I
answer, but I'm gonna let
answer the
somebody
last?
else go first.
I know. Go ahead, boy G.
Can I answer the second question? Then this one. Um, I think writing. Like I've been counseling youth since like 2012. So like I always tell them to share their story, because they be impacted by mine. And once they hear my poetry, and they like, man, like, how did you make it through that? And I tell them, writing saved me. And so sitting down, teaching them how to write, teaching them how to express themselves. Um, they start off with the conversation saying that they don't know how to write. And the next day they see me, they probably have like 5 pages, like full of like poems. And how she said, it all comes from music. Like growing up, always like listening to rap music. So when I started writing, everything all flowed because of the rhyme pattern and all that. So yeah, I always tell people to write. Emotional poem, when my brother died. My brother got killed unexpectedly, so that really took a lot out of me. He was the reason that started me to write. I remember like sitting with a blank page in front of me. He used to just freestyle, and the way he like just freestyle over other people's music, it inspired me to want to do the same thing. And I sat with a blank page in front of me at like 16 with writer's block, and he told me whenever I want to open up, that's when my page will fill up. So, he got killed when I was 19, and that was real emotional. I was able to write a poem for him before his funeral and put it in his casket. So that's something that I'm always remember. But yeah.
Real deep, real deep. Um, yeah, hard, hard. A lot of the things that are really tough for us and hard to write on, but we still, when we are ready, decide to give it a go. Very powerful. Consuela, would you like to share?
Yeah,
The
one of
hardest,
the most
the most
emotional
difficult
poems that
poem?
I wrote was probably a poem about self-love. I think we
Mm,
all struggle at some point in our life with some insecurities that we have. None of us are perfect. And then you have people that will be more than happy to point out your imperfections to you.
you think?
Why we value those opinions when we know that none of us are perfect. We need to tap into the things that we love about ourselves. So self-love is so, so, so important. It's the number one reason we should love. And when we love ourselves, we can pour that love into other people.
Well said. Absolutely. I know that you shared it with me.
Well said, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that you shared with me,
Ebuka, you had shared with
yeah.
me. It wasn't
Ebuka,
quite a
you had shared with
poem,
me,
but it was something else that
it wasn't quite a poem, but it was something else that
for you to uh,
difficult for
write
you
or
to
you listen to. What was that?
write or you listen to. What was that?
The title of the poem is, is it the title of the poem? Okay, I think I have two, but the most emotional poem I've written is that it. I have. Can you hear me over there? Please, if you can hear me, because I don't really know if the network is bad somehow. Hello.
Yes, I can
All
hear
right.
you.
So I've written.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I've written some emotional poems. So I don't really have one I can group and say this is the most emotional. I just write the way I feel. You know, I just write the expression of my thoughts and my heart. But I'll say I've written based on our country here in Nigeria. I wrote one on Arise. It talks about the current state and how the political issues is influencing the economy. So I wrote another one on black roads. Why the person was broken, and but the person was broken hearted based on being in a relationship and what you're looking for, was not the expectation. So the one I can really see is one of my most emotional poems I've written is the story of the fake love. So I remember a verse in that poem. It said, "Now I need a sword, not to kill, but really to shun the evil ones, because I'm tired of fake love." So the emotions were really there. Though I wrote it like some years back, it's not new poem, but I would say that is one of the most poems I've written.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Some of it was we can hear it, but then some of that audio had a little bit of like squeaking in it. I was trying to adjust the mic as well for being able to hear it. We really appreciate you sharing, and we're right on the mark. Yeah, we're right on the mark, ladies and gentlemen. In order to move to the fourth and final question, how can participating in creative therapies, including self therapies, lead to a happier and more fulfilling life? How does that help us to be happier people or have a more fulfilling life? When I say creative therapies, there's so many different ways, so different, so many different art forms that are very creative that are not the original ways that people use when we talk about therapy. So, what is like one of the most creative therapies you've ever heard of, and why do you think that we would tell people to participate in creative therapies or self therapies uh, that will lead them to a happier and more fulfilling life? Because when you say self therapy, people sometimes don't think that is such a thing, but it is such a thing. There is. Anybody want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Can I go ahead? Okay.
Yes.
Um, therapy in itself is more like a treatment for anything diagnosed. So one thing I believe is if we are telling people to be involved in creative therapy and
Yes.
self therapy so that they can have the happier and more fulfilling life, there must be it helps to reduce the stress within. And before we can say, okay, this will help reduce the stress within, there must be like more like the healing virtue or quality that has to be initiated. So I feel like creative therapy and self therapy really help people, reduce those stress that are within. Sometimes when I write, I take a view of nature, and it's so peaceful. It's so peaceful, and that's more like my self therapy because I'm at ease. Though there's a lot going on, and my mind is clouded with so many things, but the self therapy based on poetry helps me to be calm, and it eases the stress because life can be difficult sometimes, and you have a lot of things going on here and there. But when I evolve in such self therapy and creative therapy through bibliography, bibliotherapy, sorry, it helps to reduce the stress within. That's all I believe in. That's all I believe in. Thank you.
I think I think we lost her.
You think he lost
There she
me?
is.
Yeah, I'm here. Anybody else want to go ahead and answer that question about creative therapies and how it can lead to a happier, more fulfilling life?
Nah, it kind of remind me of like Maya Angelou, when she talk about how the cage bird sing. Uh, Before I started writing, like I started listening to her, and she inspired me to want to write as well. And when I heard her say that, I didn't quite understood what that meant until when I started writing. And um, growing up, I was closed off. I didn't really say nothing to nobody. Kind of stayed to myself, played basketball. But when I started writing, then I wanted to start sharing. And once I hit the stage and going to like different poetry events and putting my talent out there in front of people and people coming to me telling me like, thank you for sharing my story, and I'm just like, hold on, like, what you mean? They're like, everything that you saying, I'm going through that right now, or I've been through that. You just got the heart to share it. So, like hearing people feedback, it made me realize why she said what she said, like we all cage birds and we just gotta learn to use our voice and just feel that freedom. But yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Well
it.
said. All right, well said. We're going to be wrapping up this portion of our collab, and we're going to be moving into poetry. So, Ebuka, you have it first. You are going to be on with two of your poems, three of your poems. You have three there. So, I'm going to go ahead and give
Yeah.
you the stage. And without further ado, everyone, here is Ebuka with his title is, well, actually, his poet name is
Okay.
Godly Poems. Take it
Thank you
away.
so much. Thank you so much. All right. So the first is called Eating Tears. That's the title of the first one. Eating Tears. All right. Let me read from here. Still unknown is the tears they don't know. Leading me. My mind is losing me. Thinking deep. I hope I don't lose me. For within me, there are hidden tears untold. The stress of the living reals is real. I hope I cope. I pray I don't lose the zeal of hope. My emotions have become wave emotions. In this I see not me is alone. So that's the first one. The second one is blinded sight. Blinded sight. If that dies, a dead gift in time. How can blind lead the blind? Is that not the dead line that traps alive? Blinded sight. Seeing light yet being in the dark. In real life, the blind is leading the blind. Both are walking lives, believing they're doing right. Open your eyes indeed and see the light. Say not now, but now, for each timeline is timed in this life. Follow line, leading blinds. Such a blinded sight, believers of lies, walking in the dark. So choose your path, walk your light, believe God for your life, makes all things bright. That's the second one, blinded sight. But I think it was seriously on serious. I think that's the third one, but I wanted to swap it
Can't
with
really,
something
I
based
can't
on.
really hear it. It's very distorted. The mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My
Yeah, I know.
connection.
I
Is,
know.
sorry, my
I can
connection.
hear
Can
you a
you hear
little
me now?
better. Yes.
Okay, you can hear me.
It's like going in and out.
Okay, okay. I'm so sorry about the connection. Yeah, the internet here is a bit. The network is a bit bad. Though I tried to issue. I really apologize for that. I really
Yeah,
apologize. Um,
it's okay. It happens to all of us.
I'm I'm trying to give
Okay, so we have a little time later within the
for
time.
me out here.
Yeah, we can go ahead and we'll fix it.
Okay,
I do have
I've said
something.
two. Do I have to say the third one?
You're fine.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Ma?
All right, and we'll see if we can come, we'll see if we can come back around to you. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna introduce poet David reading his poem. So give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, add this to here. Here's for David. David is 11 years old and enjoys being with his pets and learning about all things science, especially gardening. He loves his performing arts, school, family, Minecraft, and chess kids. His future endeavors are to be a beekeeper or businessman. This is his first public debut of reading his poem entitled My Loving Pet.
I love my pet. Oh, how I love them. Their names are Loki and Sassy. Loki is very laid back, but Sassy is a drama queen type of cat. At times when I fret, or I'm scared, feeling like I'm in a never ending pit of despair, my cats are there, like angels who save me, like a phoenix who cures sadness or even depression. They bathe me in their love, caressing me through their rubs, and soothing me with their purrs. Even at times when I want to give up, I think of my dog and how he's always there protecting me and keeping me from fear. And that makes me happier than a poor person who is now suddenly rich. My dog's name is Wolfie, and he is heaven sent. The only dog who was old and playful, sad and happy, sometimes mad, but never violent. A loving soul. And if pets could go to heaven, he'd be sure to go. Before them all, there was one cat named Cleo Leo. We found him in a tree. He brought us so much joy. And although he was with us for a little while, he left an imprint in my heart. Now he's in heaven and forever in my memories. Leo, I miss you, and your playful spirit will always be with me. I thank God for my pets.
Absolutely wonderful, David. Thank you very, very much for reading your poem about my loving pets. Awesomeness. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and take you from here. And I would like to also make sure that I'm able to put the other slide up just so I can give props to Ebuka. I would like to just read his short description of who he is as well. So Godly Poems, this is for Ebuka. He's a poet whose love for poetry sparked in 2015 after discovering a poetry book in his school library. With a background in science and teaching, Ibuka's journey into poetry began unexpectedly, but has grown into a profound passion. He primarily writes Christian-themed poems aiming to inspire, motivate, and share God's love through his work. As he continues to craft verses that resonate deeply, Ebuka is dedicated to impacting lives and enriching spirits within his poetic expression. So we also honor you for being here with us today, and thank you very kindly. And Consuela, we're going to be moving over to you. So give me just 1 second to set you up so I can read about Consuela Mian. This is her pen name. Consuela Mian is an author whose passion for writing is not limited to one genre. She writes poetry, fiction, and nonfiction. Her children's book series is now an animated series that she wrote, created, and produced, which is available on Amazon. She has also written several screenplays and documentaries. Through her writing, she will continue to inspire the world, one story and one book at a time. Without further ado, she will be sharing her poems with you entitled 50 Ways to Love and One Kiss. And without further ado, I'm going to actually make you larger here, and we are going to get it going. Here is Consuela Mian.
Okay, don't be mad at me, but I decided to switch
Do
to
what you're gonna
poetry.
do. Do what you're
Okay,
gonna do.
I decided to switch to poems today, so you guys bear with me. I apologize. At the last minute, I read 50 Ways to Love all the time, so I wanted to read something different. So my apologies ahead of time. The
Go,
first
let's
poem I'm going
go.
to read is called Black Love. Love has many colors, tints, pigmentations, and hues, like a flowing river as deep as the ocean's blue, white as snow and as pure as the virgin skin. It's red with jealousy and the blood of sin, green with envy, ignoring all signs, a state of mind with no consciousness of time, brown as the sail that seeds a growing spring, silver and gold symbolizing a wedding ring, committing to cherish, honor, and obey, a fiery orange that's as yellow as the sun's rays, purple as seasoned plums, nectar so sweet, a flower that blossoms with a tint of pink. And when all the colors of love blend, black love is created with no prejudice against skin. Like the vision of beauty in a blind eye, black love is a smiling moon in a dark sky. A permanent Sharpie speaking words you can't take back, an infinite story of color when love turns black. Black love.
Black love, everybody. Black love.
Thank you. Okay, and the next poem is it's called Love's Addiction. Not nicotine or cocaine's theme, something I tell you you cannot believe. No matter what it does or how it hurts, no estimation could tell you its worth. Love. That is my addiction. It makes me so high that you can see the moon in my eyes. It makes me so low that you can feel the dirt in the ground before the grass grows. Love. So in love and love I'm in, but out without doubt, so good and strong, it has to be a sin. I loved you, I breathed you, my heart grew with you. Tell me how to get over, get under, go around and be done. There is no rehab that could help me overcome. My chest hurts, my head aches, and since I can't cry a tear, I sweat and shake. I'm going through a withdrawal, but I've hit a brick wall. No acetaminophen or morphine could ever make me feel this way. No narcotic, I'm psychotic over just one kiss. A kiss that has taken me to a place out of this world. I'm on a trip, I'm addicted, I need to be your girl. Your woman or the title of your wife. Love is not existent without you in my life. Forever, I promise my love is true. It's no secret that I am completely addicted to you.
All right now. I'm addicted now. Love it.
I
Black
actually
love.
wrote that. And I know that we have a poet on the panel that has not experienced love yet. He's not he's too young to understand that poem, but I wrote that because love can be an addiction sometimes when you feel that way about someone you're in love with. So that's where my mind was with that poem. And the first
Okay.
poem I read about Black love had to actually do with racism because, you know, every color that we mix with paint, it's either brown or black. So it doesn't matter
Mhm.
what our skin tone looks like. We all have to love each other and keep spreading love. So that was the two
Absolutely.
inspirations behind those two poems.
We really appreciate you sharing. Awesome. Absolutely fabulous. And thank you very much once again, Consuela Mian. And ladies and gentlemen, you can type her name in, and she is on Amazon. You can buy the books that she's talking about and the things that she has, the products she has it available just for you. So go ahead and put her name in, type it in. You will find her on Facebook, Instagram. That's right. And TikTok under Consuela Mian.
It's
Yes, TikTok. I'm on TikTok too now. Let's TikTok, right? And for Golly Poems, you put Golly Poems for you, and you will also find him on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. How about that? And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we just thank you very much. If you're just tuning in to our collab that we're having today about bibliotherapy through poetry, we have our fabulous authors here, and we have come up with this collaboration to come together and to really show people and explain and be representatives of bibliotherapy through poetry. It's a therapeutic method that draws upon the healing powers of literature, specifically poems, considering it an art therapy that is a subtype of bibliotherapy. So we got Poet G, the Poet David, Godly Poems, which is AKA Ebuka, and Consuela Mian, as well as I'm Lakeisha Matisse, your rebound and reset doula. And basically, I will be facilitating. I have been facilitating for today. Now, without further ado, we're going to move right over to Poet G, and we're going to let him recite his poetry. So before we start, let me set you up so I can read, por favor, about you. All right, and I'm supposed to do two E's, so my apologies there. Poet G, aka G. Spencer, meet the poet who began his writing journey in junior high and deepened his craft in high school. By 18, he learned to channel childhood traumas into art and transformed his experiences into powerful poetry. This creative passion led to the founding of Focus, Fokis, a motivational clothing brand inspired by poetry and art. Since 2015, he has also counseled youth, teaching them how to write, how writing can empower and heal. That is absolutely fabulous. And we welcome to the stage Poet G. Go ahead and take us away.
They talk about rocks in their rings and diamonds in their chains. As they overlooking these kids that's dying from a gang. Through my words, I'm screaming change for some knowledge in their brains, cause I'm tired of them living their lives so insane. Little girls stay moving faster than a train, and boys can't even walk down the streets without carrying that thing, cause all they know how to do is gang bang, post on a block and hang. Every block you go down, you see pants sagging, rags hanging, and body bagging. Corner picking them up after toe tagging. It's a sad sight to see on a daily basis when you driving down the street. People asking for donations. Got their posters up containing their loved ones' faces. Their hearts got so much pain in it, but they still need money for funeral service. Crying out, saying he was young and didn't do nothing to deserve this. It keeps me writing these raps because we live life worthless. I just want you to notice the key to life is just to stay focused. No matter what block you grew up on, we all in the struggle together. You were never alone, cause I too lost family and friends from senseless crimes. I know what it's like not trusting the one times. I feel your pain, so feel mine through these rhymes as I'm desperately trying to change one life at a time. So that's the first one. Um,
Let's
that inspired me
go. One
because
life at a time. Go ahead.
very nice.
yeah, thank you. That inspired me to write it because I grew up in LA and seeing a lot of my friends and family, dying from gang violence and sometimes being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and where when it comes to rap music, that's what we heavily influenced by. And they just talk about negative stuff and they not trying to uplift or talk about nothing positive. So I was on a bus one day, and it, inspired me to write that. So the second one, I'm a dude. It's more towards me and my journey through poetry, trying to find my way. Do I want to do rap or do I want to do poetry? And so here you go. I got people that's been rocking with me since the beginning, way back when I was too young to start sinning. When basketball was my only option to winning, the only dream that ever seemed possible for me to believe in. Channeled all my hurt and anger to this outlet I was given. This became the only purpose for me living. Started turning to a rebel force to turn my talents to another level. Learned this gift of jotting down my feelings. Through all my struggles, the ones that supported me would listen. Gave me that ear when my confidence was too low for me to vibe to myself, critiquing my own craft because I didn't sound like everyone else. Started being more focused on creating my own lane because my platform has always been built with poetry, overcoming struggles and pain. My life is impeccable and not average like the plain Jane. Yeah, I used to weed slang, but I wasn't on no block with Glocks with cocaine and cars with Glocks, but wasn't trying to put slugs in my brother's brain. I'm more of the type to inhale to Mary Jane, admiring the rain as it rolled down the window pane. And church giving all my dirt to God in Jesus' name, amen. So yeah,
Amen.
that
Can
one.
I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen. There we go.
So this last one is geared more towards God. Trying to find my way in life, and overcoming my struggles. Um, wait, hold on, my kids. Wait, hold on. So, dear Lord, I haven't wrote to you in a while. First off, I'd like to say thank you for blessing me with another child. Thank you for giving me a beautiful baby girl. Lord, please give me strength to protect her in this crazy world. I never want my kids to live the life that I had. Growing up with no guidance because I didn't have my dad for so long, I was lost and always stuck. Never knew what blessings were because I believed in luck. Things never happened coincidentally. I learned that when I started living spiritually. Now I know everything is a lesson. Whether good or bad, everything is a blessing. So, God, I would love to thank you for all you allowed me to go through, strengthen me from the pain and agony too. My life was falling like gravity, dude. My dreams are closing in. I mean, feeling like there's nothing in this world I could pursue. My life changed once I turned my life over to you. You gave me joy, hope, and happiness too. I witnessed my circumstances change in a matter of a week when you brought me out the ditch and just placed me on my feet. There was no more cracks in my road. This poem is a testimony needed to be told how you took a dark sinner like me and turned me pure as gold. I was always emotionless, dark hearted because my past unrighteousness. Closed heart, closed fist made it hard for anybody to reach me. Daily, you sending your children to teach me, but I was hard headed and too prideful to listen. Overlooked the blessings that I could have been given. I know all the sorries don't amount to my dirt, but Lord, I want to go out and minister your work so my fellow brothers could put you first before the time come. We be leaving in the hearse. Because I remember the many times that you gave me sight. I was weak, you gave me strength to fight. I was walking dead and you gave me life. Through my self-abuse, you still treated me nice. All my pain, I watched you care my soul. My life was empty, now my present whole. I was lost, now I'm found. I was deaf to your direction, now I hear your voice, sound my life was finished. My cycle was endless. I never had a conscience, I just asked for repentance. My sin became my lifestyle. On behalf of those things I did, I don't have the heart to do it now. I cherish your words for my life. Through all my afflictions, your son Jesus paid that price. Every time I gave up, you showed up. Told me, son, I got this. So hold up, hold up. God, I watched you clean up so many of my mistakes from all the bad turns that I would say caused me a lot of heartache. When I think about your goodness, I get choked up. When I realized I was sleeping on life and it was you that woke me up, got me off that cold ground, placed me on everlast, told me there's no need to worry because my life is in your hands. Took me to your IVs, got my adrenaline pumping again, placed me in your church hospital, clean me up of all sin. Purify me with your blood and build my heart around love. God, I gotta say thank you because I'm having sent from up above. Now I can share my story and give you all the glory for how far you brought me and the many things you taught me. My life was over, my days turned cold and my nights got longer, but through my hunger, you were making me stronger. Thank you.
Awesomeness. Give them some
Nice.
love. Let's go. Awesomeness.
Nice.
All that TBT.
Thank you.
Yeah, he said to God up above. And you know what? This is only, I'm just going to jump in there because he just inspired me. You talked about, hold on, let's go here. I'm gonna go ahead and mute all the other mics so that we don't have any background. Mute the mics. so we don't pick up the background. Make sure this one's muted as well. There we go. Yeah. So I wanted to jump in there too. And you got a beautiful young lady that came in the car. He kept it going. Did y'all see that? He kept it flowing and kept it going. And we appreciate you, Poetic, for coming on with us live and dropping your nuggets here with your poetry and flowing the way you flow. You know, I had to flow too. It used to go like this. I'm on a mission to poetically express myself, to versify about the love of my life. His name is Jesus Christ. I love him because he first loved me. His actions spoke louder than words when he laid his life down for me. The greatest love that I could ever desire. See, the more I trust in more him, and the more he takes me higher. I can't stop talking about him because he is my fire. Burn, baby, burn. He is my source, my provider. For better or for worse, he accepts me just as I am. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love never fails. It's genuine. And a true friend loves at all times. You know, Jesus is my friend and he'll never change. He is the potter and I am the clay. He can shape and rearrange me in his own way. I'm no longer my own, but I'm his. I've been bought by his blood. That's why I'm here today to tell you about my first love. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. See, at the Tribe, we together resiliently inspired brilliance ever blooming. So while you blooming, that helped me to bloom and brought that back up out of me too. So thank you very kindly, Poet G. Thank you very kindly, Consuela Me Ann. Thank you very kindly, Ebuka Wagali Poems. And thank you very much, David. And you know what? I think it's about running over to my time as well. For me to go ahead and flow. But before we even get down to that point, let me go ahead and share the slide. Go ahead. All right. I don't want the full screen layout here. Add to the stage. All right, y'all. So this is about me. I am your rebound and reset doula. So I'm a professional speaker, writer, coach, and facilitator with over 20 years experience. Yep, advocating. I'm a big advocate of the performing arts, the STEAM, which is environmental science and the maker movement, social emotional well-being, and humanitarianism, excuse me, through which I make a significant impact in communities through actively leading workshops, retreats, courses, and outreach programs, all aligned at expanding knowledge and possibilities of diverse populations. That's what Consuela Mian was talking about. No matter what our skin tone looks like, you know, we need to be in here doing some things together. And basically, my commitment is evidence. My advocacy in the training roles in educational and community settings. My mountain is education, right? It makes me a key figure in driving positive change. I have been your poetry collab facilitator, and I wanted to just show you something here. This is one of my poems, and it's entitled, I Should Wear a Crown. One moment, por favor. So I can share the screen. The beautiful thing about StreamYard is that you can actually share screens as well, just like you would do on Zoom or in any other form. So just like before when we did the countdown, that's what I'm looking to do real quick. Share my screen and make sure my sound is on. And this is entitled, let's see if it's coming up yet. I Should Wear a Crown. Hold on, I don't see it yet. Move this first. You guys see it? Because I don't see it coming up yet. Okay. Let me try one more time. Add it to the stage real quick, and then it should be ready to rock and roll. This is entitled, it's just lagging a little bit.
I shall wear a crown. What should I do with all of this anger pent to be? I had the wrong teachers leading me. Now look at the mess I'm in, and it is taking years to clean up this travesty. Taking my feelings out on the wrong ones, it's not their fault at all. Thinking they should be more grateful than I, even choosing to stick around. I wouldn't be the first person to walk out of their lives. I mean, their fathers did. Their fathers did it and left me to fend. On my own, sink or swim, do or die. Hell, I'm told that I'm as strong as they come. I say that holding all of this weight has really taken its toll on me. I don't think that I can hold like I used to anymore, but I can't settle for less than the best. And I know that God has something better for me. Right now, I'm just grinding and pushing uphill. And when I think I'm all alone, he gives me a glimpse so that I can see more clearly that it is him that is holding me so that I won't fail. It is him that has been here for all of these years. So many thoughts roll through my head that I just want to throw my hands in the air and walk away. I feel so feeble, drained, and unable to sustain this pace. And just something inside my core begins to vibrate. And a new energy comes over me, reminding me of how far I've come and how he's never left or forsaken me. Through it all, although in this season I walk alone, Abba Father remains on the throne. And in this season, I must lay all of my burdens down. For one day, he has promised that I shall wear a crown.
Yeah, a crown. And that is one of my poems, that I should wear a crown. Now, let me just give background, because I'll give the shout out to all the daddies that continue to stay in the lives of their children. This was a time where it ended up where I was the main caregiver for my children. And it was a real struggle. And I just saw so much going on. So I decided to take that difficult time and to be able to channel it. This is what we're talking about, right? Bibliotherapy through poetry, to be able to take those difficult times I had and put it into words. Because sometimes when we don't do that, what happens is, what we find out is that it stays somewhere in us. We can't express it. We don't even know we were thinking like that. We don't even know we had that type of words, that when we put it on paper, to express it in a way that was in a creative form. We talk about writing to journal, but it's something different when you write and you take words, whether they rhyme or not, and you're putting it in a way, in a creative form, to express yourself through poetry. It does something else for you. Just like when David read the poem about his pets, his loving pets, he'd use some words that when I heard him use those words, I'm like, whoa, I didn't know you even thought about that, or I didn't know you even thought of those type of feelings. Like you said, Consuela, he's young. You just turned 11. But yes, so this is a way for him to learn how to channel all of the things that's happening with him and put it on an expression, right? Try to put it in a creative form, so that not only him expressing himself and understanding what he's seeing for himself, but he also is able to articulate it to other people in a way that he wouldn't just be able to talk off the cuff and tell you what he's feeling. So that's why I say, you know what? Poetry is our form. Now let me go ahead. I'm gonna read this. It's called He Heard My Cry. And usually when I read this poem, that He Heard My Cry, I follow it up with a friend of mine who's rest in peace. We talked about poetry being a way to relieve stress, right? Gali Poem said that. Ebuka, you were talking about that. It helps us to process things as well, process difficult experiences. And we know Poetry was telling us about it, how it helps us to do that. So we come full circle in a way to say poetry is a very great technique. It's a method for us to be able to express ourselves, and not just to help ourselves, but to help others. So grieving is a huge topic, right? And my condolences to you, Ebuka, for your recent loss as well with your mom. I was thinking about that. So when I thought about this poem here, and I thought about, many of us have things that are going on. I have some hardships that I'm facing right now myself, with people that are close to me, especially with my daughter and with my father. It's been real with my older sister. Rest in peace now. Like, it's some big things that's been hitting many of us in life, and we're just telling you that poetry is one of those ways to help you. It may not be the all go-to way, but it's one of them that you can just add to your different regimen of the things that you wish to do to help you to express some things, because you can't keep things inside of you without having a channel or a way to express it, because the body keeps the score, as the book says. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. You get it. It talks about the traumas that we experience and how our body absorbs it, right? In our subconscious mind as well, our conscious mind living out things in our actions. It affects us. It affects our organs. It affects every part of our being. So we have to find a positive way to release these things. You know what it means when you got emotions pent up and you don't have a positive way to release it, how it comes out. Yeah, some of us got in some real big trouble behind that, right? So we're just saying, we're advocating for, hey, how about trying some poetry here, some different forms of literature, reading them, some writing, right? To help you through this time that you're dealing with your difficulties. Poetry is not just it's just not all about sadness or, grief. It's our anger, our fear, our loss. But those are some of the themes that we find that it helps us in that way that we are using our creative, because we can be creative or we can be destructive, right? So we're trying to do it in a way, even if it's like dark when you write, like it's just a darkness that flow out, let it come out. It needs to come out in some type of form, because it does not need to be stand up in you. As you continue to write, you will see how it changes as you go. One day you might be happy, another day you might be frustrated, and you turn back here, you might be sad. Guess what? Those are just emotions. They don't stay around forever. And if they do, you need to kick it out. It's violating this time with you, okay? Happiness, yes. Joy, yes. But all the other depressive, the anxiety, those type of things, no, it got to go. You cannot keep allowing it to stay and attach itself to you, because then it becomes like a part of your personality. A lot of times we don't even know that that's what's happening. Do you know how many years that I lived in survival mode and didn't know it? And then when I found out I was in survival mode, I still couldn't do nothing about it, because I couldn't deal with it right then. I couldn't unpack the trauma. I couldn't unpack the situations, because not only was I not ready, I had little ones I had to fend for, and I didn't have the time for it. I'm telling somebody today that this is the time to unpack the trauma. This is the time to unpack the worry, the concerns, the depression, the anxiety, any traumatic experience or events that have happened to you. Now is the time. Give yourself permission, because the longer you wait, unfortunately, the more your body keeps the score. And guess what? I don't know about you, but we can look with everything that's happening where we live at, from our food source, from our water supply, from all the things that's happening in our environment. Yeah, I'm in background of environmental science as well, and STEAM, right? Listen, this stuff is real. So we got to learn to take care of ourselves. And also, when we do have things that we've been doing that's been successful, we got to share it with other people. Now, I don't know who's ready to hear what these poets had to say today, but guess what? We're so happy that you're tuning in. And even if you're coming into the replay, we are so happy to have you here, because we're talking about bibliotherapy through poetry. We're talking about the art form of poetry that can save your life. I heard somebody said it helped them to survive here. I heard somebody said that it helped to save them. Poetry? You serious? Yes, we're serious. So without further ado, for all my people who know what loss is, when my son wrote his poem about my loving pets, it just touched my heart, because I was on that journey too, having to go through it with them and, bury our pet and teach them how to do so and help them to grieve. Some people would say, well, that's not that serious. No, for a child, it is. It is very serious. I can still remember back to my first pet I had. You know what I'm saying? Her name was Angel. And she's still dear to my heart, because she was my pet. So then I said, you know what? This grieving is a theme. And it's like we got to learn ways to help us, right? To process. We have to learn ways to help us to be okay with not being okay. I'm not telling you got to fake it till you make it, because that's a lie. I'm telling you that we need to come together and say, if my brother wrote a poem about grief, I want to listen to what he got to say. My sister wrote a poem about, I want to listen to what she has to say, because her sharing that written word and put it into an expression of a vocal form and releasing that into what? Our atmosphere is powerful. It's powerful beyond measure. It allows that person to be heard. It allows that person to be affirmed. I'm going a little bit deeper about bibliotherapy or into poetry, right? Any of the creative art forms, and allows us to feel connected. How many of y'all feel connected today from what y'all already heard? Whatever platforms you're tuning in from, if they allow you to post, go ahead and post. And when this is on the YouTube, go ahead and make sure that you post some things for your folks when you hear them. Tell them how their poems have inspired you, because guess what? We care, and that's exactly why we are on here today. Now, that's the time I wanted to spend on what I needed to say, but I'm also going to read this poem dedicated to all our folks out there who know that even when we're struggling, even when we're at the end of our wits or end of our ropes, he hears your cry. At the end of the road, thoughts flood my mind to give up now. Something deep inside the telling me to try just one more time though. I get down on my knees and pray to the Lord. This is my last chance. I just don't know. I just don't have any strength to endure. Lo and behold, as the tears roll down my face, I sense an ever-warming warmth that took away my despair. I asked, is it you, Lord? Have you heard my cry? And in the core of my spirit, I knew that everything would be all right. I let out a deep sigh, did an ugly cry, and blessed the Lord for hearing my cry. Because I will bless the Lord. I'm on, yes, that's my first poem there. My second poem that I'm going to read is about mama's worth. Okay. All right, mamas. It took a woman to set you straight. It was a woman who birthed you and did the best she could. Despite the fact that you may have grown up in the hood and not so good neighborhood, she may not have been the best mother, but she taught you all you knew. No, she wasn't perfect, but she did her best to raise you. Now you want to disrespect her, neglect her, and test her ability to be a superwoman just for you, when she struggled every day just to see you through. When you were younger and didn't know right from wrong, it was mama there to teach you. Now you want to come up in age, and you want to come up where you must take your proper place and stop blaming her for the things that you do. That brings her so much shame. Have to point the finger at yourself, not anyone else. No one else is to blame. It's time to grow up now and to be a man. Stop playing in the snake pits where you're bound to get bit. Then to mama you'll go thinking she can heal you. Mama can't fix everything. Or how you bring her so much pain when you act lame, like you were never trained in a respectful way. So let's set the record straight. It took a woman to set you straight. But now you're a man and you must stand on your own, because mama won't always be around to be your backbone. It took a woman. That poem is from me growing up and seeing these mamas out here doing the best that they can, and seeing a lot of our sons going astray to these streets and saying, man, what you doing, man? Your mama are not going to always be there, and your mama ain't perfect. And some of these things are generational patterns that are built. I got my sons, most of them are mama's boys, right? My sons are mama's boys, but I saw it growing up because I always was around the guys. So I would tell them, you can't treat your mama like that, man. I love you, but you can't do your mama like that. And some of us young men, I'm talking to you, y'all need to really acknowledge and love y'all mamas while y'all got them. Don't take it for granted, because you don't know somebody else's story about their mamas. And like Tupac said about his mama, y'all better get it together, right? Get it together. No matter what his mama, whoever else tried to put his mother down, he called his mother a queen. He know his mama had issues, and that's what he still said, dear mama. Hello? That's what I'm talking about. Let's learn to be more respectful and don't keep the vicious cycles going on, because guess what? It's only you that can make a difference. It's only you that can change the ways, so the ones that's after you don't have to continuously keep going through that. All right. My last poem that I'm going to read to you It's going to be called Superb Woman. Yeah, Superb Woman. This comes from Apostle Alicia George. She has a book that I'm also in it with a book compilation, and it is actually called um, I'm a superb woman, not superwoman. Okay. So here's all for all the superb women. More precious than rubies or diamonds is a superb woman. More brilliant and beautiful than the pyramids of Africa is a superb woman. She gets her grace and faith from all the roads she traveled that has taught her lessons that she has taught her lessons that she has lived and learned. Her knowledge and wisdom has grown over the years. And within herself, she knows that God lives there. And within herself, she knows that God lives there. Her strength and dignity comes from her life experiences and from those who have walked before her, leading her in the right way. We pay respect to the superb women that have paved the way, went before us so that we would know the way and would not be led astray. Sometimes the road was lonely, but you did it anyway. And for that, we say, thank you. That's for all the women who went through all that they've been through and still get up every single day and pave the way for the younger generation that's coming behind you. I salute you and I tell you that we need you. We need you to keep moving forward. We need you to keep building bridges. We need you to keep being like bulldozers and plowing through things because you're helping us to come behind you and have it a little bit more easier. So to all our superb women out there, we say thank you. And now we're going to be going ahead and doing our final remarks here. Anyone would like to say any final remarks to the audience about bibliotherapy through poetry or poetry in general? You have the stage.
I would like to say a final remark. We had talked earlier about peace and things like that, and being able to have an outlet for your pain or anything that you may be going through. I want to say that if it's not poetry, even though poetry is the subject today, whatever art that you find, whether it's music, painting, if some people don't get into the arts, maybe it is exercise, maybe it's travel, but whatever it is that is going to be able to help you navigate through life to find that type of peace, because it's so important to find peace within your life, within yourself, especially love. Is right about it so much. Whatever that is for you, love it and enjoy it and make it part of your life. And that will definitely, if you can make money from it, great. But if it's something you do just on the side, that's great too. But whatever it is that brings you some type of peace in this chaotic world, in this chaotic life that we're living right now, I say go for it. And if it's something that you want to do or write or music, I say go for it too. Don't worry about putting yourself out there as an artist, because as an artist, you know that you're not for everybody, everybody is not for you. But you will find your people, you will find your audience, and you will find the people that love, admire you, and support you.
You very well said. You will find your tribe because the tribe is together, resiliently, inspiring, brilliant, ever blooming, and that can be anybody. It goes beyond skin tone, ethnicity, culture, all of that. Find your tribe. Anybody else would like to add final remarks for today?
Yeah, my bad. I'm in this event, but yeah, like I she said, no matter what your art is, just do it. That's what my brand is about. Like facing obstacles, knowing their skills. No matter what you face in life, like long as you know what you're passionate about, whether it's dance, art, drawing, singing, no matter what it is, just let that drive you and let that take you to a place that only you can see. You got to believe it in yourself for others to, manifest it and see it. But yeah, that's my final remarks. And just always believe in yourself. No matter what your form of art is, just put it out there and inspire the world. because it inspire the younger generation to do the same.
Absolutely. Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. All right, Ebuka, any final remarks for today? You like, if your audio's not okay, then we good. Let me see. No, we can't hear you. That's all right. If you put it in the chat box, I can read it for you. It's all right. Because the audio is not working right now. That's all right. We know how to maneuver and make it work. And we appreciate you being here as well. And once again, my condolences. You know, took a lot of courage for you to be here, and that just lets me know that how important it is. And you are such a considerate person, because I said, no, man, you good. Like, don't worry about it. And you were like, nah, you already worked hard on this. I'm gonna do my best to be there. So really appreciate that. Poor G, appreciate you being here as well. You had an event and everything, and you still took the time out your day. Just really awesome. And Consuela, thank you very much. Y'all know she got a podcast. She playing games. She listen. Y'all better, like I said, look her name up. Okay. She got some remarkable things going on, and she's somebody you want to be connected with as well. Poet G he talks about his brand is Focus, Fokis as well. And I'm also going to be showing you everyone's information, because I want to make sure that we know how to stay connected. So with Ebuka, it is Godly Poems for You on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I was spelling TikTok wrong, y'all. Y'all know I'm getting it together. I'm getting it together. And you got Poet G here. And he at Facebook, he is at G Spencer. And then Instagram is Creative Mind of _Poet G. Okay. We got a little bit on there so you can see that. And if y'all watch, y'all can rewatch the replay. Don't stop playing. YouTube. I really don't do my YouTube channel like that. I just use it when I'm doing my creative expressing through music. But I do a lot of different art forms. Like I said, I have a BA degree in performing and directing and performing. So this is anything arts is my thing. Absolutely. I know the arts can heal, because I am a poster child for that. Then we got Consuela Mian. Stay connected, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Consuela Mian. And remember, you can purchase her book, 50 Ways to Love, on Amazon. Put her name in, it'll pop straight up. I'll show you that. And of course, here I am, your facilitator for today. Stay connected, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All you got to do is put Lakeisha Matisse on there, Lakeisha Matisse Enterprises, and we should be able to connect. On Amazon, I have the Poetic Expressions from the Soul. That is my poetry book. Okay. And last but not least, we're making great on time, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that. We're really making good on time. I wanted to show you guys the, if it's going to cooperate with us. 50 Ways to Love. It just takes a little time, and it just lags a little bit. Still loading. Let's see if it's gonna want to populate for us. Try a little bit more. If not, you guys can go on Amazon to find it. Here it is. Let me go ahead and add it to the stage. There we are. 50 Ways to Love. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how it looks. And then all you have to do is go to Amazon and either put Consuela's name in or put 50 Ways to Love. I'm going to switch it over. Another one that you could go to also look at to see if you would like to purchase a copy. I'm going to remove and then re-add it. Boom. Get to stage. Okay. Is this one here? So this make you do a lot of extra stuff that's unnecessary a little bit sometimes. Try it one more time. Y'all know I love tech, right? Yeah, I do. I love tech. Even the difficulties that we have sometimes, with tech, if you just like stick with it and continue to learn, guess what? It'll show up for you. Don't give up. That's what I want for you. Those of you who are kind of like fearful or scared of using StreamYard or using Zoom, listen, get in there and do your thing. All you're going to do is make your mistakes from the beginning. It may take you a little bit more time, but guess what? I'm just here to motivate you to try it and do it. Here's Poetic Expressions from the Soul, Creative Therapy through written word. You can also get your hands on this, available at Amazon. All you got to do is put my name in, Lakeisha Matisse, and you'll be able to see that. And okay, for our final thing here, is to let everybody know, thank you very much for tuning in today, because we really appreciate you. And without you, where will we be, right? Where will we be? So we'll go ahead back to our first slide and showing you again all of the authors that we have here. Yes. Thanking them very much for joining in with us today. And I would like to just leave something. This is not a poem by myself, but this is actually something that I like to leave you with this word. This is actually a song that I turned into spoken word, and it's very powerful. I want to encourage each and every one of you, whatever it may be that you're looking to do, whatever's closest to your heart, whoever you're supposed to be serving, I want to just encourage you to do so. Okay. Because people need to see you. People need to see you. People need to see you. Somebody's waiting for you. I'm serious. You're like, they're not waiting for me. I'm insignificant. You're not insignificant. I don't know who told you that. They lied. You are significant because you have a brilliance inside of you. Each and every one of us have a brilliance inside of us. We have a skill set, right? We have our giftings inside of us. So don't ever think that you are insignificant, because you're not. You're just not. Okay. You're not. And on that note, here we go. You're at a standstill. You're at an impasse, and your mountain of dreams seem harder to climb. By those who have made you feel like an outcast because you dare to be different, now they're drawing the line. They call you a fool. They feed you resistance. They tell you ain't gonna never go very far. But see, they'll be the same ones who stand in the distance alone in the shadow of your shining star. You just keep on the same road, and you keep on your toes, and you keep that heart as steady as it goes. And you let them call you what they will. You just remember, a poet by any other name, an artist by any other name, a sister by any other name, a brother by any other name, a gifted person by any other name is still a gifted person. The kindness of strangers, it seems like a favor, but see, they've yet to see what I see in you. But see, you can make it if you're able to believe in yourself the way I do. Just keep on the same road and keep on your toes, and you keep that heart as steady as it goes, and you let them call you what they will. You just remember, the person you want to be called by any other name is still the person that you can be. The heckle from dark rooms, they bark at the moon, but guess what? Their time is fading in time's bitter garden. But baby, yours is only beginning to bloom. Yes, you keep on the same road, and you keep on your toes, and you keep that heart as steady as it goes. And you let them call you what they will. You just remember, like Tupac Shakur said, a rose by any other name is still a rose. And baby girl, baby boy, guess what? Be uniquely you. Find your tribe. Hey! Thank you, everybody, for joining in today for this poetry collab. Let's get it going.
Hey!
sharing. Yay! We appreciate, everybody for tuning in. I thank all the fabulous poets for being in the house with us today. We could not have done this without each and every one of you. And on that note, we tell everybody, guess what? See y'all next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your day. We're like 5 minutes shy. We did great.
So much.
Bye, Ebuka. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye, Ebuka.
Bye, Consuela. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. We'll talk to you soon. We'll have some more love. Yeah. We're talking about poetry. Yeah. Come on. Poetry. Yeah. We're talking about poetry. Oh, oh. Poetry. Well, let's talk about poetry. Poetry. Whoa. Poetry. Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't ever forget, there's a brilliance in you. You just got to go ahead and tap on in. Because guess what? I'm not finished. I'm telling you the truth. There's a brilliance in you. So go out and be the change we need in the world. Go out and be uniquely you. Hey, let's go. Till next time, we out.